And welcome back. This is your man Warrior. This is another patron roster review. This is Ashlok from Bad GN. Now, he's been playing for well over a year. He has spent a little bit of money in the game, not a ton. I would call him a dolphin. He did tell me I could totally roast him. I think he's thinking this because his arena squad looks great, but when we switch over into Fleet Arena, he's got great ships, and yet he's at almost 800. And I definitely think when I look at your squad, why and how? Like, why are you that low and how is that possible? The only thing I can think of is you're on a shard that's very competitive, but my guess is you still could probably get into the top 500 pretty easily. And the top 500 is really the place you want to live at a minimum. You know, if you don't want to be super competitive in ships and you say, I hate ships, blah, 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 hate ships all you want, but at minimum, get into the top 500 so you at least get your 800 currency. You definitely want that. You want to be able to get a couple of purchases a day. Don't fall out of the top 500. So you may have to get yourself into the top 500, and it's going to take you quite a few refreshes to do so, but you're going to need to use all of it. If this is important to you, and you did ask, you said you wanted more help on ships, and so I'm giving you the help on ships. And the first thing I'm going to tell you is, if you want help on ships, take them seriously. Play with them just like you do Arena. Theory craft with them just like you do Arena. Use all 5 battles for climbing just like you do in Arena. You know, make it as important if it's really important to ask me. And then you want to know about heroic AAT teams, and you're working on first order. So you wanted me to consider that you're farming on first order now. So we're going to go ahead and go into those teams first, and then I'll kind of tell you on the side, you know, who you could work on for Arena, and then we'll go into ships. All right, Phase 1, standard Jedi team. I know you're a Dolphin, so that means you're not going to invest a ton of money into these characters, but you do have a decent Jedi lineup. You've got Qui-Gon Jinn, Aayla Secura, you've got Ahsoka Tano, Ezra Bridger, and you've got even Barriss Offee. So you've got a great, durable Jedi team. You should very easily be able to get 2% or more with this team. Phase 2, once you finish your first order, I would recommend a first order team in Phase 2. They're fun, just like Resistance and just like Clones. Once they're leveled up and maxed out, they're an extremely fun team, and it looks like for the most part you're pretty much done, other than your first order officer. He's the last guy, and he's actually one of the easiest farms, which is crazy. You should be able to finish off first order pretty quick, but since you've gone all in on first order, forget everybody else until these guys are maxed out as far as gear. If there's gear that competes with first order and someone else, give it to first order. Get this guy up so you can get this Phase 2 team up and running. Phase 3, you're probably already doing this, but you're going to use Chief Chirpa, and you're going to use him as the leader. And then, of course, you're going to pair him with Emperor Palpatine, and then 3 tanks. I would use Stormtrooper Han, Royal Guard, and Sun Fac. The only problem is Royal Guard and Stormtrooper Han are gear 9, and your Sun Fac is gear 9, but only star level 6. You're going to have him star level 7 if you want to use him. Now, another tank you could use in this Phase 3 would be that First Order Stormtrooper. In the meantime, because your First Order is not ready for Phase 2 yet, you could just throw in some droids or some Sith in Phase 2 for now. Pull out the First Order Stormtrooper, throw him in this Phase 3 team, which will really help. And then when you get your First Order team done, hopefully you'll have Sun Fac done by then, because Sun Fac you're going to farm out of the ship shipments, which does not conflict with First Order officer, which is going to be out of a different store. So definitely you want to get Sun Fac to 7 stars so you can use him in this Phase 3. And then, of course, Phase 4 is going to be your standardized Rebels. Now, you've got a lot of really good 7-star Rebels, and you can play around with what you think is best, which ones work the best, and how you're going to get the best damage. But Wedge and Biggs and Lando are definite musts. I would also probably recommend bringing in Admiral Akbar. Surprisingly, even though he's one of your lower geared characters, he has a ton of usability with Lando Calrissian, allowing Lando to go back to back, and with that you can topple the tank faster, which will be an issue. Ezra will more than likely be in your Phase 1 Jedi team because I suggested it, and so you can use that, but you could use Sabine or R2-D2 in this team as well as the 5th slotted character in this team. As far as ships, I would recommend the one ship I want you to focus on that I'm looking at your inventory and I'm just like, you know what, you know, they're not very good, is Umbaran. The Umbaran, you've got him gear 8 and you've got it 4 star. This is a classic ship that you should really have had maxed out a long time ago. He's easily free to play. The character's easily free to play. This is one of those ships everybody should have maxed out because it's a very high utility character. The only downside is it gives a little bit of turn meter away, but that's okay because he makes up for it with all of the mass AoE damage and the dispel on his basics. So definitely a really cool ship, really cool character. That's the one that I would suggest. The other thing I would suggest is you could try the Endurance. You know, your Admiral Akbar Home 1 ship and Endurance are both very cool ships. You're currently using Home 1, but you could bounce over to the Endurance and try it out and see what you think. Endurance is built a little bit more for target lock capability, and if you're going to put Umbaran in there, it's going to give you that durability you're looking for. As far as your main lineup, though, it does look pretty amazing. You've got all of the ties, you've got Biggs in there to protect them, and you've got the Scimitar, and I'm guessing in your backup you've probably got Slave 1 and some of that stuff. But you could replace the First Order TIE Fighter with 5's ship if you're looking for a little bit more durability. But otherwise, this lineup should, in theory, chew right through teams. And if you throw in Mace Windu's ship, it's going to chew through teams even faster. So for what you have displaying and seeing 800 on Fleet Arena rank, it's sad because you should easily be able to be in the top 500 easily, if not higher than that. So definitely care about ships enough that you're going to use your 5 battles, maybe even do a refresh and get yourself 10 battles and just climb as high as you can, and do this a few days to kind of get into that top 500. And then if you want to just maintain top 500, fine, but top 800, really, you're better than that. Your ships are better than that, so get yourself up there. As a side note, the last thing I am going to go over is your irregular arena. I know you didn't ask for any help on arena, and you're doing just fine. You're top 50, and you're loving on this team. It's a good team. I would recommend, since you're using Rex as a leader and First Order Stormtrooper in this team, that we mix it up a little bit. And you've got Kylo Ren in there, but you could throw Emperor Palpatine, Thrawn, or Kylo Ren into that front third slot. So you got Rex, First Order Stormtrooper, and then in that slot you could have Kylo Ren like you do, or you could put Emperor Palpatine in there, or you could put Thrawn in there. In your back two, I would actually recommend Darth Nihilus and Shore Trooper. Now, when we look into your inventory, we see your Darth Nihilus and Shore Trooper at 5 stars, gear 9 both, respectively. They are not ready for Arena yet, so this little suggestion I'm making of adding these 2 characters is something that you would have to work towards because they're not ready to be tossed in. But Darth Nihilus is an equalizer. He's going to really help you to get up and stay up in the top 50 with no worries, as well as Shore Trooper. He's an auto-taunter. And with Rex, First Order Stormtrooper, Darth Nihilus, you know, Thrawn and Shore, or Kylo and Shore, or even EP and Shore, you are going to tear through teams and have that durability. Rex lead with this team. I've seen it on some of the top 5, top 10 shards all over. It's a really, really hard team to beat. It's really durable. It's heavy. Everybody's got a ton of health and protection with all of those taunts going on with First Order Stormtrooper. So like I said, obviously Darth Nihilus and Shore Trooper are going to be long-term solutions for what you're looking at doing, but I would recommend working on them on the side. It'll just add another level for your arena team. So what is everybody's thoughts for Ashlok? Go ahead, you can roast him down below, be gentle sort of, but let him know your thoughts of what he can do to improve his arena team or his ships, and any other heroic AAT teams you think that he should focus on. Keep them in the comments down below. As always, keep your gaming on. Warrior out.